Our poster is about the racial disparity of visitors in national parks in the United States. I'm Celeste Kathleen.
I'm Sarah Bowman.
I'm Jesse Stevens.
I'm Xander Critikos.
I'm Alex Cheyney.
I'm Max Berger.
And we're in PRT too.
Let's get started!
Our topic is racial disparity of visitors to national parks in the United States. Our group found that there was a disparity of visitors to national parks. We found this by digging into the background and seeing how minorities played a role in the development, what's currently going on in national parks, and we also took a look at what could be done in the future and recommendations to improve this relationship and reduce disparity of national park visitors.
Contrary to popular belief, minorities have played a vital role in the conservation and protection of the U.S. national park system. In 1903, over 400 Buffalo soldiers protected Yosemite National Park, and the first superintendent of Sequoia National Park was an African American by the name of Charles Young. So to say that the outdoors and the national parks aren't a part of African culture is not true. This mindset of exclusion contributes to disparity in the national park system because it creates "this isn't for us" attitude. Another reason for disparity is a lack of representation in the workforce of National Park Service.
Now we talk about the facts. The fact of the matter is National Park Service recognizes and is aware of disparity of racial diversity in the park pattern. NPS has outlined inclusion and diversity plan and uses its centennial campaign to help support the messages. National parks are beginning to place a big emphasis on cultural and historical intelligence of land as well, including national parks named after Harriet Tubman's Underground Railroad, Cesar Chavez, Belmont Paul's Woman Equality, and Pullman National Monuments. Now there's also organizations that support cultural and racial diversities that are forming in the outdoors, including Outdoor Afro and Latino Outdoors. Outdoor Afro has a goal of getting people outside as a community for experiences that further appreciate for nature and well-being.
As Max mentioned, there are a lot of groups actively and currently working to combat racial disparity in national parks. One of the research articles we found on this was titled "Why I Wear Jordans in the Great Outdoors," where a young African American leader recounts his journey and experiences bringing youth of minority backgrounds outdoors. He talks about why he chooses to wear Jordans, the shoes, in nature, and how that's been an important tool that he's used to bridge the gap between minorities who feel that parks aren't a place for them, because he feels that when he wears clothes that are reflective of their community, it helps them feel like it is more a place for them to belong. Even though there are large changes we can make, such as starting new organizations and campaigns, these small changes on an individual level will really be what helps impact and change racial disparity in national parks.
Based on the graphs taken from research done by the USDA, it is clear that there is a direct relationship between the minority employees of national parks and minority visitors of national parks. This is especially important, as we mentioned in our background research, that one of the main reasons for racial disparity in parks is minorities feeling like there is not a place for them to go. This idea is perpetuated when there is not adequate representation of diversity in employees.
In order to ensure an improvement in racial diversity in national parks, experts have suggested several possible solutions in order to encourage minority participation. One step that we've already addressed that parks can take to improve attendance of minorities in parks is to increase representation of minorities in employment positions. White employees make up an overwhelming majority of employers in national parks. If African Americans and other minorities see people of their own race represented in positions of authority, they will feel more invited and incorporated in the outdoor world. Another way to improve racial relations in national parks is to make the cultural history of minorities in parks relevant to each respective group. Black History Month is a particularly unique opportunity for outdoor leaders to create culturally specific programs that focus on informing African Americans that they are an integral part of the outdoor world based on historical implications of the Civil War, Reconstruction era, and so on. Efforts to integrate social media and other technologies also have the potential to appeal to minorities and non-minorities alike. Using hashtags like #FindYourPark help individuals locate parks geographically through apps like Instagram and Twitter to encourage younger generations to explore new areas through the sharing of interesting photos.
Based on our research, it's evident that there is racial disparity in our national parks. But through the implementation of our recommendations, we can bridge this gap and get everyone out to our national parks.